So what's up, everybody? Haven't done like a self-iso radio in a long time. It is Coach Jared Glass here of the Roll family here in Brantford, Ontario, catching up with one of our coaches, one of the guys that's just left prior, like just before and during the pandemic hit, before the world went crazy, and obviously before Kobe Bryant passed away and everything just went downhill from there. Rest his soul. Nic Anthony. So welcome to the revamp or a segment of our radio show interview show from before. I'm calling this the catch-up segment. So we're catching up here with Nic Anthony, someone that we've had the pleasure of training with since he was in, what was that, like grade 6, grade 7 when we first met?
Yeah, I think it was
over in the Big Blue facility. So Nic here used to join all the open gyms. He lived like a 2-minute walk away from the gym that we were at before. So he just made the most out of it. I mean, I got to a point where I saw him so much, I couldn't even charge him for coming into the gym. Just had him like sweep the floor, coach our camps. And it was just a great mutual kind of partnership, helping build up the business and helping him get as much gym time as he needed. Even I think, did you get a key, or you just came in anytime the guys that had a key came in?
Yeah, I think it was just open anytime. I just went in.
Yeah, so and that was also something that we shouldn't have been doing, giving you young people a key, but it was all love, it was all trust. So those are some good times. But anyways, for the people that do not know, or the people that have not seen Coach Nic in a while, Nic, give us a little brief rundown on who you are and how you went from Assumption or Brantford and found yourself across the border.
All right, so what's up, guys? I'm Coach Nic. I'm from Brantford, Ontario, Canada. Started playing basketball playing basketball on a team in 4th grade. I wasn't the best in 4th grade, but kept practicing, kept whatever. And then I think it was grade 10 in Canada. I went on an AAU team in Toronto. From there, we went in tournaments to Kentucky, Illinois. We went a whole bunch of places in the US. And I got picked up by a team in Mississippi. And then I stayed there for a year. Didn't think it was the best place for me, so I switched. And now I'm in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where I'm at now.
That's awesome. That's actually kind of like, you answered one of the first questions that I had for you, because I like a lot of us, as people actually hit me up when they found out or when they saw you in New Jersey, and just kind of like posting about like being in a new location. And at that time, like I think you were really low key about it too, right? Like you didn't really tell too many people about that. But then people started hitting me up like, yo, what happened with Nic? And I was like, you guys tell me, I still got to reach out to him about that. So can you open up about that a little bit? Like, what was that transition like, going from one school program over there to another?
Yeah, it was pretty easy the way that we did it with the coaches. I came down here, I wasn't enrolled in school for a good 2 weeks. So I was just chilling, working out with the team, practicing, lifting, all that for a good 2 or 3 weeks, no school. And then after that, I got enrolled in school and I just started there. And we had our games, whatever, from there. It was pretty easy.
And was that because of the COVID rules, like because of like with the pandemic and the isolation, or was that because of just being kind of in that transition process of like having to get your documents in order and getting your school papers right?
Oh yeah, it was a bit of both. COVID too, and because if you're not from the United States, you have to have visas and whatever, and it has to be passed by the school. So that takes about a week or 2 weeks, and then COVID just added on top, which was another week. But it was good.
All right. So I mean, looking back on it now, like obviously at that time it probably felt like forever, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, you're just cooking and doing your thing. So, all right, man, that's great to hear. Yeah, I was really confused. I didn't know what was going on there, but I'm happy to know that you're in a good spot. You're a lot happier here now.
Oh yeah.
Do you see yourself like finishing off like your high school career with this program?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. I know we talked about it, but for the people that don't know, how many years do you have here?
After this year, I got 2 years left still.
And what's the school called?
Raleigh.
This guy.
Raleigh.
It's your school, man.
Raleigh Christian Academy. I didn't think about it because I just say RCA.
Yeah.
People don't know what RCA is.
Yeah, I
So
say RCA too. Anytime people ask me, I'm like, he's at this place called RCA, like Raleigh something.
yeah,
That's
that's
funny. And then
definitely.
could you guide us through like what kind of program that would be if it was here in Canada? Like what is the equivalent of that?
It's pretty much the same as like a Rise or a Toronto. What's it?
Prep
Toronto.
school.
There's one in Toronto. Same thing, prep school. But
Yeah.
here they mostly get guys from around here because it's North Carolina. It's like the hoop state of the United States. So there's a lot of talent here, and they just bring in talent from the area
Yeah.
pretty much.
And how did you find yourself transferring there? Like out of all the schools, out of all the states, I mean, was it even a consideration to come back to home to Canada? Like how did you find your home in Raleigh?
So pretty much the AU team that I was on from Toronto, and the head coach that sent me to Mississippi, he had the connection. I was telling him that I don't think this is the best place for me, and blah blah blah. And he said, "Okay, I have this school. Why don't you go there, see what it's like?" And that's pretty much how it went. I went there, saw I liked it here, and pretty much went from there. It was pretty easy.
That's awesome. So are you on campus right now?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said that like you have this year and you have 2 more years. Now in Brantford, that would have put you at like grade 13, grade 14, right?
14, yeah.
Grade 14. So yeah, that's a big question myself and a lot of the athletes here have with reclassification. Like could you go through that process and could you kind of like if you could give us like the long story short version of how that is for you and how that process is for anybody that's looking to go across the border, like what is reclassification like? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Like, what's your take on that?
Well, so for me, the reason why I did it, the biggest point was probably to gain some size, develop my game. So when I go to college, that I'm ready and I don't have to go redshirt or anything. I can go first year into play. So reclassification is pretty much where you reclassify into the grade under you, which does not mean you have to take those classes per se. You can still take the classes that you're taking the regular year you would be in, but you'd be in the year under. So you'd have another year to play, another year or 2 years, because from Canada and the US, I think in Canada, they start 1 year earlier. So if you're in 10th grade in Canada, you're in ninth grade here. So you automatically, or you can choose to automatically go from a year back right when you get here, and then you still have the choice to reclassify one more time.
Jeez. Yeah, so that's how you end up playing with like guys that are like what, 20, 21?
Yeah, 19, yeah, we played 20-year-olds this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just straight varsity, right? So varsity is like as soon as you hit that varsity mark, like you could be as young as like 14, right? If you're that good playing up on varsity, playing against these 20-year-old, 21-year-olds, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
all
crazy.
about not about age at all.
Yeah. How are you feeling with that? Like you feel like you've been stacking up? Obviously, we see the highlights, we see the videos now. Just if you can take out Nic Anthony from the highlight videos and the clips. How do you personally feel about the basketball being played over there?
Oh yeah, I'd say it's way faster paced than in Canada. They look to push the ball, push the ball, push the ball. And our offensive sets, it's not really we have sets, but it's just they give us stuff to do. And if we can score off of it a different way, it's fine. So it's pretty much for me, it's a lot of freedom to do whatever I want to do, whatever I think we need to do that game. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, like the way it looks like, and I hit you up about this. Like it really looks like the game slowed down for you, and it's just it's wonderful to see. But yeah, what would you say the biggest difference is between like playing over there, playing over here? Now, of course, there's differences as well playing in Brantford versus playing in Toronto. And now, how would you state those differences between playing in the States where you are versus Brantford and versus Toronto?
I'd say from high school in Brantford to Toronto, it's just people are way more athletic. Like in Brantford, you'd have one or two players, maybe one could dunk. Toronto, you could have the whole team that can dunk. You usually in Brantford, you don't have a big man. Toronto, you have a big man. He might not be the best, but he's still a big man. And here, you have all five positions. You could have a 6'6" point guard here in high school. You could have there's lots of 7-footers. There's lots of big men where you don't really see that in Canada. Here, it's like a 7-footer per each team, pretty much. So yeah, it's a difference in size, difference in skill. They have a lot more size to them. people, and the whole team can jump out the gym. If you're playing a good team, the whole team can jump. So yeah, it's just athleticism, size, and yeah, pretty much.
That's insane. Was it a culture shock for you when you first came out there?
Oh yeah, yeah. The first time I got or played competition, it was against it was an AAU team. It's called Capital City Pacers here, and they had me in some runs, and I played a couple games with them right when I got here. They had me in some runs, and it was totally different. You got to adjust, but once you adjust, you're good. But yeah,
I think I remember like when we worked over the summertime, I asked you that same question, and one of the things that you told me was that like just guys were just rocking you, like the shoulders and the elbows, where they were just digging them into you, and you said like if you don't adjust, like you are not going to play, you're not going to see the court. And you know, to your credit, it looks like you've been adjusting. It looks like you're the guy that's dishing out that contact now, from what we see. So, man, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Is there like, so are you a true point guard over there? You're number one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're on varsity, right?
Yep.
So are you guys in any tournaments right now? Or are these like league games or these exhibitions? What are these?
We just finished what actually happened, we're in a league, but in the league we got kicked out. We're like 4-0 in the season. Teams weren't having it because we were bringing in good players. So then they brought up something with the administration, some paperwork or something wasn't signed. So we got kicked out of that league, and we were like 4-0. So then after that, we were just playing scheduled games. They schedule games with all types of good teams from the area. Not really season games, but they're just pretty much scrimmages. And now we got a tournament on Thursday. We're leaving to Myrtle Beach, and that's a prep tournament where all the good prep teams from North Carolina go to. So that's our next thing, and that's probably the last for this season. And then AAU, and then start back next year. That's pretty much.
Damn, so they couldn't beat you, so they brought up the paperwork. Like they went.
Yeah.
How'd that make you guys feel? Was it like whatever for you guys?
Nah, like some of us took it pretty hard, like because we would go hard in practice. We were trying to win the state title. I say on everything we could have won it this year if we didn't get kicked out. Could have won a state title this year, but yeah, it was tough for some of us. Damn. We just got to keep pushing.
I bet, and that's a thing that these like other teams and these other like coaches and I'm sure like the team owners, managers, whatever, don't really like think about. It's just, like you guys are still kids. Like you guys are still so young. All you want to do is hoop. Yeah. Like I'm sure these other teams, like, they might be bummed out that they're losing or whatever, but like, bro, like you're still on the court. You're still able to play when 80% of the world can't, Yeah, right. So that's insane that they would even go to that next level to do that. And like the fact that you guys are already allowed to play anyways, like why are you giving them another thing to have to freaking, another hurdle to climb around? That's insane. But I'm happy that you guys are still keeping the ball rolling. I mean, that would have been sick, to add to the resume, Nic Anthony, state champion. Yeah. That's insane, especially if you're coming from Canada. Does that get brought up a lot, being a kid from Canada?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You have any other Canadians as teammates?
Not here, but when I was in Mississippi, I had like four from Canada.
How far were those two schools from each other?
Ooh, I took 2 plane rides, one to Atlanta and then to Raleigh. And I think total it was like 11 hours total of plane rides and all that. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy where basketball can take you, man. But that's good though. That's good. And then like to get home, like you would just take a straight plane ride from Raleigh to Brantford or to Toronto, or you have to go to Atlanta first?
I'd probably have to go to Atlanta, okay. And then from there to Toronto. Yeah.
Now, how's the culture over there? Like, what's the culture like outside of the school, outside of basketball? I know with the pandemic. I don't know if restrictions are applying. Like, what's life like outside of the gym, outside of school?
Pretty much the same as everything in Canada. Hang out with your friends, do whatever. Most of us are just trying to hoop and that's it. School, hoop. So yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Okay. Man, that's good. It's I mean, it sounds normal, to be honest. Like you say it's just like Canada, but for us right now, it's
Oh no! Right now it's totally different. I'm talking about Canada 2 years ago.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing too with you being over there, and I can't stress that enough. Every time we talk, I'm sure you miss your family. I'm sure you miss mom and dad and the home cooking, but you know, end of the day, these couple of years are going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what you are actually eventually chasing after and your goals ahead of you. And really to get after those, you just stay on path. And you know, I can't tell you enough how many people wish they were in your shoes, dude. I wish I was in your shoes, man. It's just being able to play, being able to be on the court. Now, you know, talking about being on the court, how is it like? You know, we see you playing with masks. Like, how hard is that? Like, you guys, I'm sure people get fouled and the masks come flying off. Like, you guys scramble to get the mask, or what is it? It's just like an annoying thing.
At the start of the season, we brought our own masks, and we were using the cloth ones. Those would get soaked within 2 minutes, and you couldn't breathe at all. So you had to bring like 3 or 4 masks and switch them out. And then we got these team masks where it's mesh, and it's like a really light mesh, so it's like it's not even a mask there pretty much. And after that, then yeah, it was pretty much fine. But when we had the cloth ones, it was bad, terrible. And what you're saying with fouls, it would come off, you'd have to put it back on, and the refs will be on you every single game to pull it up over your nose. Yeah. It gets annoying sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, you ever bringing out the ball and like you're dribbling and the mask is coming down just because you're bouncing, and they tell you to slip it up before you run your play?
Yeah, you've actually got technicals because our mask would be down, and they've told us already once. So they'd say, okay, you don't want to put it up, tech, shoot a free throw.
Damn, yeah, that's worse than like the untucked jersey.
Yeah.
State have they said anything about, you know, we're looking at this state to go no masks, or this state to have, you know, full fans in the gym? When you go to Myrtle Beach, are the rules going to be any different? You're going to be allowed to play without the mask?
I don't even know for Myrtle Beach. I bet we probably have to wear masks. But this year we've already played 2 games without masks at all. But it's just certain rules with certain guidelines. I think it's certain schools that you have to wear masks. But for the most part, we have to wear masks. And next year, I think we're still going to have to wear them. But hopefully after that, it'll be good.
That's good to know, man. You know, being part of, I mean, just an honorary American these last couple of years. What's a day in the life like for Nic Anthony? You know, for guys that are just like me outside looking in, especially since you guys don't have the pandemic going on. If you can take us through, like, you know, moment you wake up to moment you go to bed, on those non-game days, because obviously the game days are a little bit different with prep. But what's a more normal day for Nic Anthony when he wakes up? What's that like?
So like before AAU, this is what it pretty much was. I'd wake up, like I'm like an hour from the school, so I got to wake up real early. I'd probably wake up 6 a.m., leave at 6:40, drive to the school hour, get my schoolwork done, be finished around 3:15. We'd have practice at 3:30, and we'd go to the weight room, we'd lift, then we'd have practice. Practice would probably go, we've had practices 3 hours long before, an hour and a half, anywhere between hour and a half, 3 hours. And then after that, we'd have trainers come in. Our AD at the school, athletic director, he's a shooting coach, and he's coached NBA guys, D1 guys. So we get the chance to train with him after. And also a local trainer, Eddie from Next Up Hoops. He comes in and we train a whole bunch of group sessions and all that. So yeah, after that, same thing, hop in the car, back home, do the same thing the next day, pretty much.
So you're, where you are right now, where you're staying, like those dorms, you said the dorms are an hour away from the school?
Oh, no, it's not a dorm. I live with my coach, my head coach here.
Oh, okay. So coach's house is an hour away.
Yeah.
Okay. And that bus, is it like a school bus?
No, he just drives me every morning. He drives there, drives back.
Oh,
and then drives all the way back for practice at 3.
Does anyone else like from your team live with coach?
We had one player that did, but some things went on with him and he's not anymore. But yeah, they're gonna try and bring a couple more internationals in and try and build it up.
Okay, so man, that's great. It sounds like you have a really good relationship with your coach then, man. That's amazing, especially being a point guard, being the extension of the coach on the court. Man, it sounds like you have a really good not even opportunity, but a good situation here.
Yeah.
That's great. So who cooks? You cook for coach, or does coach cook for you?
Depends. Like I don't cook a lot. I like make breakfast, and then they'd get me lunch, whatever, and then dinner we just stop somewhere. So yeah, But like on a Sunday when he'd make it sometimes, his fiance would make it sometimes. It depends on the day.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Man, so it sounds like a busy day. So I mean, in total, you said some practices are 3 hours long for you, and those are just your team practices, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of, obviously, you have your skill sessions. I don't think you mentioned weights yet. Where's your weights and conditioning held?
Oh yeah, so it's like literally 2 seconds from the building. It's a separate building, and it just has all the weight stuff. It has a squat rack, it has a leg press, bench press, everything you need, stuff for rows, everything. So we just go in there from like 3:30 to 4. We lift whatever, try and get a quick lift in, and then probably from 4 to 4:30 we go out on the field, and then we sprint all the way down. It's like 100 meters, jog back, sprint down, jog back. We do that like 10 times, and then we get into like 1 foot jumps, a lot of high rep stuff, which will get our athleticism up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you said, so what time does school end?
Like 3:15.
Okay, so right after school, then you have your weights conditioning, your fitness work, and then is it practice right after that?
Yep, right after.
Okay, so then practice, and then you got extra skills if you guys have time for it, or like it's always extra skill work after.
Yeah, there's always someone in here that you can work out with, whoever. But if you got like a project due tomorrow, you just got to go home and just.
Of course, school first. How are the grades, man? The grades are nice?
Yeah, pretty good. 3.95 GPA. I got 1 D when I was in Canada in French class. That's it.
That's the only thing holding you back from a 4.0?
Yeah.
We got to talk to your French teacher out here, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Probably one of the biggest questions that I've been getting because of COVID and because of just, like mentally, like I'm sure you can imagine how it will be like to not have basketball or being an athlete here in Brantford or just in Canada. Like even these university college teams, like they can't even get into the gyms, right? Your feet in the door, you got your feet planted and set before things hit the fan. So what would your advice be for those people that are, just struggling right now and trying to broaden their opportunities given the pandemic?
All right, so I'd say the first thing I would do is if you can get it done where you're at, so you don't have to, leave the family, leave the parents. If you can get whatever you need to do, like personally, I'd say you have a season, you have somewhere to train all the time, you have a weight program that got you on, you got your schooling, and it's all happening. If you can get that where you're done, get it where you're done. If you can't, and if you're not progressing where you're at, then I'd say then it's time to look for somewhere else, look for where you can play. So then, it's kind of hard because some parents, some people are really, scared of the COVID virus. But I just say if your kid really wants to play basketball and that's what he wants to do, that's what his heart's set to do, then I'd say just sacrifice everything, go for your dream. Yeah.
All right, man. Perfect. And dude, like where would one start? You have this blessed opportunity to be, close with your coach. And I'm sure I know from when we spoke about your previous situation in Mississippi, you were on great terms with your coach over there too. How did these coaches begin their recruitment when they look, in Canada or when they look elsewhere for talent and for people to pull in and bring on to their prep programs?
Yeah, it's all about contacts. It's about who knows who. So if you can get in contact with the people that know a lot of programs down here, then you're set. It's really about connections from high school to college. It's connections, and if you're looking for somewhere to go for high school, it's all about connections.
And of course, like you gotta just be ready to show out, right? You gotta be ready when the opportunity comes.
You step on the floor, you have to do what you do always.
Yeah. And man, I know I talked about this before, and when this goes out on the social media platforms, hopefully the recording of the audio goes well. I'm kind of scared that it's not, but talking about the preparation, Nic Anthony was that dude. Man, I could probably count on my fingers how many times me and him actually worked out personally. Like there was only a few times where me and him actually, just because I was so busy training on one end, he was just training himself and working out by himself, or working out with some of the other guys on the other end, or he would just be joining on runs when he could. Me and him didn't work out a whole lot, but just being in the gym, he got himself ready. He got himself those opportunities. He got himself those where he's at right now. So probably the summertime was the most we ever worked together. It was the most court time, or yeah, it was the most like one-on-one time that me and you had. And dude, it's always a pleasure. So anytime you're around, of course, you already know. The doors are open, man, and we got the shooting machine now. I know you saw that. Yeah. So that's ready for you to abuse whenever you're able to come home. But yeah, man, before I forget, you know, just major love and major just appreciation that you have, you know, accepted that you are that kind of role model for everybody, especially locally here in Brantford. I don't think you know it as much as you do, especially because you're living through your life right now. But you know, people are looking, people are wishing for the best for you. I don't know if you hear any of the negative stuff, but that's always going to be there. But you know, for what it's worth, you know, if there's anyone else you want to focus on in terms of the positive vibes coming from the city, it's always going to be from us here. With me and of course my family and everyone we train with, man, everybody's always just asking about you and ready to show love. So I love that everybody shares the post too, man. All those highlight tapes, man. Everything. It's always. I'm sure it's a great feeling. Yeah.
I appreciate all that. Everyone that reaches out. So yeah, appreciate all of them.
Of course. So yeah, man. It's all love from the city. So that being said, so we got questions from the Roll family or the speed round here. Feel free to take just a couple words. Couple sentences to answer up. All right, so Raynon, he'll kick off the questions. He's asking, what's your favorite food from the States, and can you bring it back for us?
I've had some really good tacos, some really good authentic tacos. That's what I've been like, probably.
It's funny, Raynon actually just started getting on tacos. He's really plain though, just like the veggie ground meat and cheese. That's all he likes on his tacos. Yeah. All right, Liam Taylor, he's asking, how much do you feel you have improved since being with your academy there?
From when I was in Canada?
Yeah, so pretty much like how much do you feel like you've improved since you've left Brantford?
Feel like I've become a totally different player from when I was in Canada here. Like a big jump.
All right. So one thing you miss most about Brantford?
Ooh, friends, family.
Okay. Who's like that one person that you feel like you miss the most, or you have a hard time being away from? Parents?
Yeah, my mom, dad, sister.
What's the one food they cook that you miss the most?
Lasagna.
Okay.
Really good.
They do they send you like care packages every now
and then? Oh yeah, they send me stuff all the time. Yeah. Okay. Chocolates, shirts, whatever.
Nice. One thing you wish you had. How did I word this? One thing you wish we had that you have over there or have experienced over there. So one thing you wish you could bring back from the States over here to Brantford.
I'd just say right now, as of now, like playing games, like I wish all of y'all could play out the season. I know it's really hard to not play games, but I wish, yeah.
Now, favorite pastime or hobby when you aren't training? So when you're just chilling at coach's house, what are you doing?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I just schoolwork. Got to get the grades. Schoolwork and basketball. That's about it.
And so it's really a cycle for you, eh?
Yeah.
Man, you know you're living that university life already, eh? Like, you know that's your cycle. So if you find the love in it right now, if you find the appreciation and your happiness is truly just on the court, like you're setting yourself up for an easier experience at the next level. So I'm happy that you're quick to answer schoolwork on that one. Actually, that was the next question. Is school harder over there or is it harder over here?
Well, I'd say it's about the same except for English class. Here, it's totally different. I think it's because it's a certain curriculum they have. It was the same at this school, at the last school in Mississippi, but for grammar and English class, it's totally different. Like in Canada, you learn verbs, adjectives, all that. Here, you're learning it's a whole different thing. Like
it's like a science to it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you ever get like dock marks? Because like you spell color COLOUR.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And like in Canada, we asked to go to the washroom, right?
Yeah.
They say bathroom. I say, can I go to the washroom? Everyone's clowning me, washroom. Ah, what?
Yo, man, yeah, that brings back memories too for me in the Philippines. There was a lot, there was just sometimes I just didn't want to I just didn't want to talk because like I knew someone was gonna say something. That's funny. All right, man. Favorite on-court moment there so far? I know, like obviously there's one in the back of my head that we recently saw, but what's your favorite on-court moment?
Game winner against Mount Zion. Has to be.
I was gonna say, you ever just run that back in your head or just
Oh
replay
yeah.
that?
All
Yeah.
the time. All the time. Yeah.
Hey, can you take us through what was going through your head during that?
All right, so they were coming down the court. They kicked it to the corner, 3. I was like, okay, we're down by 1. I gotta get the ball. We gotta score. Get the ball. Look at the clock. Got a little bit of time. Dribble, cross. I get him on my. He was like on my shoulder. He was riding me. So however fast I was going, he was gonna go. So I just sprinted, stopped, pulled up, and yeah, and just from there.
The rest is history. That's awesome. Hey, how much love did you get from that? Like, was there, and I mean, like, I know you got like the student body love, but like, how much love in terms of you get any like other additional looks from coaches or any extra hype from that?
Yeah, like a whole bunch of scouts from the area hit me up on Twitter.
Oh, Nic's getting another call here.
All right. A whole bunch of scouts from around the area hit me up on Twitter. A lot of AAU coaches, a lot of college coaches hit my coach up. And yeah.
From that one clip?
From that, no, probably from the whole season, but once that stuff happens, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Man. Yo, dude, when that came up, I was cheesing. I was so happy. I was smiling ear to ear. I was showing Rainin made me run it back like 3 times. Actually, when I first saw it, I think I was like getting ready to tuck him into bed. So he was like, so whenever I tuck him in, I like lay with him for a couple minutes, and then like we were just laying down on the phone, just watching it. We were like, yo, like look what Nic just did, and then like Rainin was actually just like wiggling in his bed, just like pumping his fists and just going nuts. It was funny. It was a good moment. All right, man. So one of the last questions here. Who's the first person you're trying to run ones with when you get home? Like who are you trying to go head to head? I know a lot of people are probably hitting you up or want to hit you up as soon as you get here. I know a couple that are like, yo, wait, I got to see how good he's gotten. Who is someone on your kind of kill list or on your one-on-one list that you want to be playing against when you get back home?
Definitely Costa.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I knew that was coming up.
We'd always play ones when I was there. We played ones so much. And it's good to see how much we improved individually. Like the last time I was in the summer, we played against each other, whatever, and I'm trying to see where we're at now next time I go back. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy for him too. Like he's over at the Rise. Like he's been there for the last I want to say year now. I think he committed pre-COVID, so it was good that he got in there, and now they're just starting to run their practices and everything, and they have their own kind of cohort bubble going on, which I'm really happy for them. Man, especially those guys at that level. Like my biggest thing, especially just being in the community, is anybody like guys like such as yourself, like Max Arnett, Costa, you know, people that have that talent and people that have that drive, like you really need to like rally behind those guys. So I'm happy that they're in that position where, you know, they have their own kind of mini community rallying behind them, letting them play. So yeah, man. Dude, I don't want to take too much of your time anymore. Like I know you got stuff to get to. That was it in terms of the questions. Again, I can't stress it enough. I think I speak for everybody when I say that man, we're just really proud and happy for you, really excited to see where your future is going to take you. And I kind of brought this up earlier, but you know, like just personally speaking, I know it's not like an elevator to success. It's a big winding road. You know, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, you're gonna, you know, stumble here and there. So, you know, anytime you ever feel like things aren't going as well as they should be, or things aren't that well, don't ever hesitate to reach out, man. Like we got you. I think too, probably one of the things I haven't told you is don't be embarrassed about that stuff too, and don't ever shy away from the negatives, because like obviously we're really quick to show the highlights, we're really quick to show the good stuff, and of course that's what we want to show, and that's what you never want to bring anyone else down or make anyone worried, but like don't ever feel like you're going to be a burden if you ever need to bring up anything that you need help with picking you back up, you know. That was one thing I struggled with being in the Philippines was like I only wanted to show the good stuff. I never wanted to talk about anything that was like bumming me out, you know, missing my family or anything like that. So yeah, man, just keep it going. And if things aren't going well, if things aren't going as best as they are, just know that you have a nice big support group out here. I'm sure your family is the first ones to get that call, but if you ever need anyone else to talk to from a different perspective, you know, we got you over here.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Yeah, dude, do you have any questions? You all good? You need anything? You want me to send you anything? Like you need a box of cookies or anything you can't ask your parents for?
No, I'm good. How's Liam doing?
Liam's good. Hey, so that's it with Nic Anthony here. Very happy to have Nic here for the first part of our catch-up segment of, I guess, you want to call this the extension of Self-ISO Radio. Thank you again to Coach Nic Anthony for coming on. We are excited to see him come back to Brantford. Of course, only when he is ready to and when he is able to come home for vacation. Not anytime sooner. Not trying to let him have a situation that's going to make him have to quarantine, miss games, miss practices, and all that bull duty. So, you know, Nic Anthony, thank you for coming on. Appreciate having you. Any last words for people in Brantford out here?
All the young guys, keep grinding. The grind pays off eventually, trust me. Just keep working hard. Maybe you don't have, you know, access to trainers, access to whatever you do have, be thankful for it and just put in the work and it'll pay off. But thank you guys for all the support, everyone that's reached out to me. Love you guys and I appreciate it. Thank you.
For sure. All right.